Welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, with me, Gretta Chamberlain, and the Realm of Beings. Shifting Impressions, which is one of the vehicles that supports the transmission of the Realm of Beings, is here to assist you in delving into your being by providing numerous topics and discussions for you to intake as you deepen your connection with your inner world. Shifting Impressions is here to assist you in strengthening yourself as you excavate to understand your true nature. Join us today and learn to shift your mindset, shift your thoughts, and shift your focus to recreate your life and produce a new you. Shifting Impressions starts now.
Good morning and welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. I'm Carol and I'm here with my co-hosts Gretta, Kathy, and of course the Realm of Beings. Before we get started, the Realm, Gretta, Kathy, and myself would like to extend an invitation to visit us on the 35th anniversary of the New Life Expo in New York City, October 19th to 20th at the New York Bar Historical Building. That's on 44th Street between 5th and 6th Avenues. You can get your tickets online now by purchasing at newlifeexpo.com, and we'd love to see you there. Back to today's programming. We at Shifting Impressions are very happy to be here on Transformation Network each Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 8 a.m. Pacific. Listeners, if you're new to this podcast, thank you for joining us and being part of this experience. These conversations will help you to look at your life and your creation of reality, see what you're creating and how it shows up, and how to help you gain perspective so you can learn how to shift what you're creating in order to create what you want. So welcome everyone. To any new listeners and viewers to the podcast, each week Gretta shares with us a quote given to her from the Realm of Beings, which we first discuss amongst ourselves, and later on in the show, the Realm will join us to expand and expound on their quote. This week, the quote they have provided to us is, when we're talking about inner beings of ourselves this month, and this one is about prosperity. When you see yourself as prosperous, then you support the constant generation of it. This acceptance of prosperity reverberates into other realities such as motivation and productivity. And what strikes me here first is that I think most people, when you say the word prosperity, immediately they think of money and wealth. And that's very good things to think of. We definitely want to attract those into our lives. But there's a lot of more ways for us to be prosperous. Health, we definitely want to be in good health, so that's prosperity. Friends, family, events, energy. We have a little affirmation Gretta had given us about attracting prosperity in people, places, things, events, energy, health, money, and money objects. So
money substances.
Object, substance. Yeah, good point. So I have to rewrite what I've been saying then. So prosperity is a bit more encompassing than just money. And the idea here is that, remember, everything reverberates. Think of the pond that you threw the stone in and the ripples that come out in circles. You want to start at the outer circles and say, why did I create this? What does it represent? Keep coming to the inner circle, the inner circle, the inner circle, until you get to where that stone was dropped, the heart and the core of everything, which is our unconscious mind. So let's create prosperity on this podcast. Take it away, Gretta.
I want to just piggyback off of what you said, Carol, because I'd like the audience to take down, if you have pencil and paper, to take down the affirmation that Carol was alluding to. And it starts off with, I am experiencing. Because we want to make it dynamic. If you just say, I am wealthy, Maybe you're wealthy today and you're not wealthy tomorrow. But once you add those words, I am experiencing, it's like that little pink rabbit. It just keeps going on and on and on and on. So it says, I am experiencing opulent prosperity, which is way beyond abundance. Why? Let's think big. Let's think of as high as we can get as far as prosperity is concerned. Opulent prosperity in, which is in people, places, things, events, energy, money, substance, and I think I'm forgetting one.
People, places, things.
Health. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's an important one.
That's an important one. So that's the 8. If you want to add some other things to it, it's your choice to do that. But the affirmation is set at a certain level of energy. And when you say it and you believe it and take it inside your inner being, then it's going to assist you in producing that. If somebody comes and helps you do something, that's prosperity. Mm-hmm. That person is sharing you their energy. I was at a workshop once and I dropped my pencil on purpose. I was teaching prosperity, so I dropped it. This woman in the front row stood up, walked over, picked up my pencil and gave it to me. And I showed everybody, I said, this is just prosperity I received. She gave me her energy. It took her energy to stand up, get up, walk over to me. That's taken her energy, put that pencil in my hand. So it was a person, it was energy. It was an event. The event was that I dropped my pencil. You see, so that was the event. So we had 3 aspects of prosperity right in there. And the other thing I want to just touch on before we really get into the quote, and that is when somebody offers to do something for you that's of the light, accept it because you're accepting prosperity. Like someone may say to you, oh, I like that dress you have on. Oh, I like that tie you have on. Say, it's nothing. I just pulled it out of the closet, So you're taking it down low. Don't take your prosperity down low. Take it high. Say, thank you. I'm so glad you love my dress. I like it too. I'm so glad you like my tie. You like the color. I like it too. You see, accept your prosperity. Don't turn it down unless it's something that's of low vibration. You might want to turn that one down. But if it's of high vibration, if it's assisting you in doing something, if it's giving you something to let you know that, hey, I'm loving myself because somebody told me I look good this morning, I'm going to just tell them, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Because that's lifting you up. That's showing you that you are worthy. You are worthy. That's an important part of prosperity, and I know we're going to get on to that. So I'm going to turn this loose. I know Kathy. I see Kathleen over there just chomping at the bit. Ready. She's ready. She's ready for us all. Okay, come on, Kathleen. Bring it up.
Up and away as your prosperity soars. And I agree with everything that you said. No qualms whatsoever. It's just that remembering to do that and remembering that you are creating your prosperity. Sometimes we can get kind of lost in the sauce. Like I celebrated my 69th birthday on Sunday. And when I thought about it, I said, gee, I don't think I got the kind of prosperity that I wanted. I wanted some more winning scratch-offs. I wanted more. Then I sat back this Sunday night. I had a nice brunch, saw the grandkids, friends came over, and the kids, and we had ice cream and cake. But then when I thought about it, I laid in bed that night and I said, well, did you create the kind of prosperous birthday that you wanted? Were you happy with what you created, the prosperity? And it was like kind of like little mixy things, but I said, well, at least you created it. I knew that I created what I experienced. And to me, that was another big eye-opening kind of event. And I'm going to show you just how eye-opening, because it was like this.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight, Kathy.
But what I'm saying is, when you want to create prosperity, the thing about it is, for me, it's just to remember that I'm creating everything that's happening to me. And it's okay, like we keep talking about, it's okay if if it doesn't quite go the way you want it to go, you can still steer it back in the direction that you want it to go in. And sometimes we don't recognize that that's what we're doing. That's my opening.
And sometimes, I know in my case, it's one of my big lessons, because I struggle with accepting things from people, and I'm trying to get more comfortable with accepting things from people. And when I say things, I don't mean just compliments. That one I think I'm sort of getting a little bit better at. But people who are offering to pay for when we go out to eat, or people who are offering to help me with anything, that lack is still sitting in there trying to work its way into the conscious mind. And I have to really step back and remember that it's a lesson, and that it's creation of reality that I'm doing. So if I'm creating somebody to give me something, why shouldn't I accept it? That's silly not to.
And why do you do that? Why? But why?
Well, I'm learning a lesson about having to love myself. I still haven't loved myself unconditionally yet. There's still conditions with my love, unfortunately. And it was something I was taught. I can pinpoint the exact time of who, how, and when I was taught not to appreciate or love myself. But knowing it doesn't make it instantly disappear. I still have to work at it. And energy, to me, is the most valuable commodity that exists, because everything is energy. And if you're sharing energy or receiving energy, I think that's more valuable than any other commodity out there. So you're right, Kathy. We have to do constant reminding of to ourselves that we are divine, we are worthy, we love ourselves unconditionally, yada, yada, yada.
And also, Carol, to piggyback, and I know Greg's going to jump in, it's okay to circulate the prosperity.
Exactly.
Because that person is circulating that prosperity to you, and they are really going out of their way to give you that compliment. They're really going out of that way, to I'll catch that for you. Or like one of my favorite students came and surprised me yesterday, and he gave me one of my birthday wishes that I didn't get for my birthday. I said, "Oh man, I feel so bad." He came and he whacked out all of the weeds in the front of my house, and he's going to come back and do all the ones on the side. And I said, "Boy, okay, I created that prosperity. It didn't happen on my birthday, but he saw my birthday list, and he also bought me some scratch-offs. I won about $60 from his scratch-offs.
Wow, good for you.
So I created prosperity for that on my birthday. My nephews, I got about $7, but it's okay. He thought about the cards. But what I'm thinking about though is, I said, now, did I feel a little, did I create not to have the big winning ones? You know what I mean? Because if I got 50 on the first one, why didn't I get 50 on all of them, And that's the part that I kind of you get the prosperity, but sometimes you just want some big prosperity, to really to share. But I think it's important to also circulate the prosperity with joy and ease to those around you, and even just to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't circulate enough to ourselves, and we always feel like if we buy this, we can't do that. Suppose somebody needs my help and I can't help them. Screw all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think one thing that you talked about that you're alluding to, and Carol said it too, that word reverberation.
Mm-hmm.
And I know in the quote it talks about that if you start thinking prosperous, then that's going to extend to more prosperity. You got the scratch cards. What did it extend to? It extended to you winning $50, winning whatever amount that you won. You might not have won something from each one of them, but it reverberated, because reverberated means you're connecting the creation of reality to another reality. So, and that's how this whole thing works. So if you're thinking prosperous, even if it's a small little thing, don't see it as little. See it. Hey, thank you for that.
Hey,
We have gratitude. Sure.
Right. You got your weeds, whacked. I think, if you saw
That
Kathy's
sounds
yard,
dirty,
you
Greta.
would
This
know
is
that she needed
show.
that done. Okay, so she got a lot of prosperity, in that. And that word circulation, while you were talking, Kathy, that I thought about people calling bills. I have to pay my bill this month, or I have a lot of bills to pay. See, when you think bill, you're thinking my money's going out, but nothing's coming back. You have to pay your bill. I have to pay my electric bill. But what we don't realize is that we were circulated electricity, and now we're just first. We were circulated electricity first. And then what we're doing is not paying a bill. We're circulating prosperity back.
you're paying it forward.
Right.
If you don't pay it forward, you'll be darkened real quick.
Right, because it's going around like this. It's a circle.
Right.
It's a circle. If you paying a bill, it's just straight. But if you're circulating, that's exactly what it means. You're circulating something. So you want to stop thinking I got bills to pay, and instead think circulation. I'm circulating this. I'm circulating that. And you want to circulate in the light. Don't circulate to the extent that you're sacrificing yourself now.
Right.
Because see, some people can do that. I told my Mr. and Mrs. Frank story here, but I think it's appropriate to tell it again. And when I was growing up, Mr. and Mrs. Frank were the ones that got the TV in the neighborhood before anybody else. This is a little screen with black and white. Everything was black and white. Not that I want to date myself, but that's what happened. So
right, Greta, we all had them.
So, nobody else in the whole block had a TV. And the kids and myself, I was a child. I must have been about 7 or 8 years old. And we were saying, wow, we wish Mr. and Mrs. Frank would invite us over so that we could see the TV. Okay. And then went through the whole neighborhood. The Franks have a TV. Then the next thing, about 2 days later, I hear my great-grandmother talking to my great-grandfather and telling him that, the Franks don't have their TV anymore. And I'm going, wow, what happened? They lost the TV? Somebody stole it? What happened? And then I heard her say, well, their pastor came over and told them that having the TV was a form of evil. And they did not want to keep the evil in their house, that it, for them to be holy and practicing faith, they needed to give up that evil instrument. So, of course, they gave it to the pastor, and doggone well the pastor took it. He
sat there and watched all that evil. I know he did.
He generally offered to take the evil out of their hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to say bless it.
Yeah. So that was a circulation of prosperity, but it wasn't a circulation of prosperity moving in wisdom.
Right. That's a low prosperity in that case. Well, even using the word evil in and of itself is a low vibration.
Absolutely. But they believed it. So the thing is, practice prosperity, practice circulation of prosperity, but practice in wisdom.
Right.
If somebody comes up to you and says,
I need $50 to be able to go and eat, and this is a person you've never seen in your life. You're not going to take your last $50 and give it to them because you have to eat too.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might give them $2, but you're not going to give them 50. That's moving in wisdoms. You see, that wisdom has got to go along with this. And I know the realm didn't talk about the wisdom. It just talked about if you think prosperous, you're going to be generating it and generating it and generating it. So you don't want to block it. You don't want to block it.
But people, so I don't know for sure. It just seems like sometimes you meet people, like I have no problem if I see someone on, needing a couple of dollars. And if I have it, I have no problem just going here. I don't care what the person's going to do with the money that I give them. Giving that person a couple of dollars or $5 because they're asking for money, I don't care if they're panhandling or not. It really does not. I don't absorb that. I have it, you can have it. It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to do anything to me. But then there are people that I ain't giving them nothing. No, because I don't want them to go buy drugs. Well, what do you care what they do with the money? To me, I don't know. And they always seem to always have money woes and money problems and see things in a different low vibrational kind of way. Always lack, like they're always pinching pennies. A nickel. Oh my God, it costs a nickel. Oh, it's like a sewer plate cover. Oh, with a nickel. Oh, blam. I mean, it's a nickel. Don't make giving a nickel away so hard. It's like I don't get it. And it's. And then you sit back and you just observe people and just watch them. But everything you're saying, you do have to do it in wisdom. I agree with that. But, it's just that understanding, again, that we create our own prosperity and that it's important to circulate and recirculate it back to ourselves
It should start and finish with self. Kathy, you mentioned a nickel. This will give you an idea about my childhood. My grandmother, who didn't drive, would go to 3 separate grocery stores, making her daughter drive and use gas because bread was 2 cents cheaper at that store than this store, and didn't even think of the consequence that you're using your daughter's gas money in her car. So I understand where you're coming from. Now, quick question to Greta from what Kathy said. It seems like with the scratch-off card, she was saying not feel like, why didn't she create to win $50 on each one of those? Is there a way that we're subverting our expectations? Are our expectations higher than they should be? Why?
It's okay for
why should there be a limit?
It's okay for your expectations to be higher because that means you're striving for something better. Okay. So that's great. That's great. But we don't know. We'd have to examine Kathy because see, one thing that people
we don't have enough time on the show for that.
Okay.
Kathy,
then she's got the glasses again. We'd have to look, and one thing is, how do you feel about money? How do you see money? That's just one aspect. Let's deal with the money. There's so many thoughts that people have been taught in our childhood about money. You could have come from a family, you chose a family. Notice what I said, because we created that reality. We chose a family to come into where they were always having money challenges. It was, to feed the family at the table and so forth. That would be a lot. So what are we experiencing through that? We're experiencing, I don't have to have money in my life. This money is not good.
Or we're experiencing hoarding it and not circulating it.
Absolutely.
It's just as bad.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, my mother told me, I told her, I said, Mom, you got this. She's dead now. I mean, she made her transition, but she said to me, I said, Mama, I said, don't worry about this. You know, we were getting ready to pay something or pay somebody, do something like that. And she says, and I made the statement, Mama, you can't take it with you. That's what I told my mother. I said, you can't take it with you. So why, are you going to get like this? And my mother she was in her late 80s then, and like around 89, maybe even 90. And she turned around and told me, when I told her, I said, you can't take it with you. She said, oh, yes, I can. That was the end of that, So that was her belief. But I want to share this one story. I really love this story. There was a gentleman. I was on my way. It was Sunday, and I was on my way to go sing somewhere. And the kids were out there. You know how some children get out there and they're selling candy for an organization they want you to buy. So I signaled for the child to come over because it had a chocolate candy bar. I said, man, I'm going to treat myself to a chocolate candy bar. Okay. I'm looking in my purse. Do I have any money? No. I mean, I didn't have enough money to give him $1.50 for a candy bar. Don't ask me why. I didn't have it. But I really wanted it. I could taste that candy bar in my mouth, and it had chocolate on it. I said, ooh, I wish I had that. There was a man that was panhandling on the street where I was driving, where I had stopped because the red light had stopped us all. He walked over to me and he said, I will buy it for you.
Wow.
I've been blessed with $20. Somebody gave me $20. I've been blessed. That man, who was quote unquote homeless, took his $20. Of course, he got change back, but paid for my candy bar and gave it to me. Wow. I took it too. I said, thank you so much. And from that, we became friends. He would look for me. I'd be going to, in fact, I know what I was doing. I was getting ready to go to school because I was going to school then. And he would still be out there at night, but he would be on this side of the expressway when I'd be going to school. And he's on the other side of the expressway when I'm coming back. And we became great friends. And he told me one day, he said, Greta, I'm tired of living like this. I told him, I said, I was wondering how long it was going to take you. Now, what I mean by is he and I were friends for 2 years. 2 years. And we would, just say hi to each other, and I'd circulate. If I had some extra money, I'd circulate the money to him. So I did that on a constant basis. One day he saw me, he waited for me, and he pulled me over. He said, Greta, he said, I don't ask you for money. I said, I know you don't. He said, but I really need something. I didn't get any money to go to, to pay for my room for the night. I said, okay. So I went in to the, what do you call those, ATM boxes, got him some money, gave it to him. He said, thank you, Greta. I said, you're welcome. But it wasn't I didn't sacrifice myself to give that to him. It was something that I could do. But when he said to me, Greta, we were standing out in the rain, and he said, Greta, I'm really tired of this now, like I just said earlier. So I gave him the affirmation that we've shared with everybody here on the podcast this morning. And I said, I am experiencing, opulent prosperity. He started saying that. A woman came it took about 2 days. A woman drove up, signaled for him to come into the gas station as well. He came up, he told me, he said, she pulled me in. I followed. He said, I was kind of scared to go up there because I didn't know what she was going to do. He said, but someone told me to go. He said, I went over there and the woman said, I want to help you get your SSI. Turned out she was a lawyer.
Wow.
She went out, got him his SSI. He pulled me over about maybe a month later, pulled me over, Greta, I'm not going to be on the corner anymore. I said, Mark, where are you going? He said, I told my friend I got to stand out here. I got to wait until Greta comes, because it was late at night when I was coming from school. He stood out there and waited for me to tell me, I'm not going to be here, Greta. I got my check is coming. And I've decided I with this money, I'm going to be able to get a nice room for myself. I'm going to be able to, and I'm going to school. I'm going back to school so I can do better in my life, you know. And his life was one that I found out earlier. He said, well, you know, I was an addict. I used to be an addict. And he said, my family wasn't taken away from me. I gave my family away. I gave my family away through my addiction. I think he had a heroin addiction, if I'm not mistaken. And so he had worked with that to get rid of that. And that's what caused, he was a person that, had he been working, he would have made a lot of money because he was worked on furnaces and all that kind of stuff. You know, so, but he had to go through this whole process of being homeless. What is it? What is that? You know,
Lessons.
yeah, because, but then he accepted. Kathy's got her fingers up, so I know she's coming with something. Kathy,
Yeah,
I know, but I got to finish this.
We can't let Greta not finish.
He was learned to love himself.
Absolutely.
And it all started
He learned
with
to love himself, you know, appreciate himself. Because he started saying that affirmation that we give everybody, we love ourselves unconditionally, we forgive, et cetera, et cetera. Even his energy started changing around him. When somebody does these affirmations, you can tell that that's what they're about because they start to change not only internally, but outside as well. So I have not really seen Mark again, and this has been years, and I know he's very successful because he said, I want to learn how to work with people that are in the same challenge that I'm at, being homeless. I want to assist people. So now he's circulating his energy to be able to help others. And this is what it's about. And he generated it, constant generation. And that's where he wound up. So, and reverberation of the reality.
Just before we get to break, for listeners, it doesn't have to be as dramatic as change as something like that. It can be small things that are still encouraging your prosperity to circulate. It's just a matter of understanding that you're the one doing it. And on that note, we are going to take a short break so that the realm can come in and speak about this quote. And we ask our listeners to please stick with us. Can't wait till you come back. I can't wait to hear what the realm has to say about this. Again, thank you, Transformation Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you, listeners. Welcome back. We hope you're still with us. We're here from Shifting Impressions on Transformation Network. We're at the part of the podcast which we are all excited about. It's when the realm comes in and discusses the quote that they gave Greta. So let's check in with them. Realm, are you with us?
Absolutely. We're all here ready to roll.
Welcome. Great to know. Okay, this week we're talking about up, up, and away as your productivity soars. The quote is, when you see yourself as prosperous, then you support the constant generation of it. This acceptance of prosperity reverberates into other realities such as motivation and productivity. And we would love your insight on this, Realm.
Well, the first thing that we want to say is that when you're thinking prosperity, and we're all talking about the inner being, it's going to be very important that you care for yourself, that you love yourself, that you appreciate yourself, because that is what is going to assist you in expanding your prosperity or creating prosperity in the first place. Because if you don't love yourself, then you don't see yourself worthy. You don't see yourself deserving. So therefore, you're placing yourself in that type of position for it. Our new word is reverberate, for it to reverberate to show you other things that are going to support you in not loving yourself, that are going to support you in not appreciating or caring for yourself. Because, see, the creation of reality just doesn't sit down in one place. It extends out. It extends out and grabs other things. So you're not thinking good about money, so what happens? You see everybody around you at your office where you're working getting a raise or getting a bonus. And then you turn around and say, where's my bonus? Well, you see, everybody else felt that the bonus, they wanted the bonus. But you inside yourself did not feel that you were worthy enough to receive the bonus. So therefore, you didn't get one. You see. So we encourage you all to love yourself and appreciate it. Appreciate when you think you have a small house, or my house is small, appreciate that house. Just because you don't have a big house on the hill with 15 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms, doesn't mean anything. Appreciate what you have, even the smallest, because see, the smallest grows larger. Now, grant you, the larger can also grow smaller. But that means because you've are becoming not loving yourself as much. So at once, or you start believing times are hard. Or you start believing, well, the stock market isn't doing so good, so I'm losing my money. So then your prosperity you will create for your prosperity to go down. I know what people are thinking. Well, we're subject to the stock market if that's where we put our money. But where did you put your money? Did you put your money in something where it's going to grow? Or maybe it's going to go down, but you say, I'm not moving it. I'm keeping it there because it's going to go back up, and you wait. So that's the thing we said, moving in wisdom, that you ladies were talking about, that you have to move in wisdom with your prosperity. But and then another big part of it is claim prosperity. Don't claim lack. Well, I don't have any money to go to Paris, France. Don't say that. Say, I want to go to Paris, France. I have money to go to Paris, France. When you say, I have the money to go to Paris, France, that's going to assist you. What is it going to do? It's going to reverberate everything to you to support you in going to Paris, France. You see, that's why you want to think, I have this. Not that I'm going to get this. I'm going to buy a house. No, I have a house. I'm going to get a new apartment. No, I have a new apartment. They call it claiming. You must claim it. Don't see it as something that is far removed from you. If you see it far removed from you, and guess what? You've created it to continue to be far removed from you.
Right.
But when you start saying, I have it, you're bringing it right to you. So bring it to you and appreciate what you have. So what you have that you are appreciating will reverberate and grow bigger. Yes, Karen.
Does that also tap into the fact that time is just a humanoid construct, an illusion? So everything is in the now anyway. So we shouldn't be projecting for our future. We should be understanding that it's right now. So we're already experiencing the now in the now. And as far as the other realities go, we exist probably in almost all of them already. So we definitely want to cover that.
Well, once you've gone through the conception process, and you've chosen your parents, and you've chosen to be humanoid, and you're coming here, yes, you're bringing with you a whole lot of things. You're bringing with you the genetic makeup of your family lineage on both sides. You're bringing in the genetic makeup. You're bringing in the epigenetics. All of this is coming with you. But we want to say and impress upon everybody, this place is for learning. That is what it is. Don't go down in the dumps because you didn't win the pick 3. You know, maybe today you didn't win the pick 3, but tomorrow you can win the pick 3, because you can't say, I think I'm going to win the pick 3. You have to say, I'm winning. I'm in the process of winning the pick 3. Or I'm in the process of, I see my job. I have a new job that is paying me more money than the present job that I'm in. Claim it. Claim what you want. See it. Experience it. You want a new car. Go to the car dealer. There are a few of them left. And get in the car and sit in it. Feel the energy of it. Drive the doggone thing around the block. See how it feels for you. You might not buy it at that time, because you're looking around. You want to move in wisdom. So you want to get the best deal for yourself. So see that. Try it out. Go in. You want to buy a dress, but you don't know what the dress is. You don't know, well, I don't want to spend money on the dress. Go in the store. Go into a high-end store. Try on something. Think big. Stop thinking small. But when you think big, we're tagging on to that. Move in wisdom. Because the prosperity that you have, it's important for you to be able to manage it as well. You see. You're not going to put yourself in what people call debt. You get that credit card and you want to go, oh, I can buy this. And you go over here, and then next thing you know, you owe $10,000 on the credit card and you don't have any money to pay it. That's not moving in wisdom.
Right.
You want to move in wisdom. It's, some of you would say, it's important for me to live within my means. Yes, but your means don't have to stay the way they are. If you see my means are growing into abundance, opulence, see your means growing, your experiences growing, yes, while moving in wisdom. Moving in wisdom. You know, I'm sure you're getting those credit cards. We're going to give you a 2,000 limit. Oh, yes. But then again, you may have a hospital bill that needs to be paid or some money put on it. And you'll say, wow, bring me something. So what do you get in the mail? You get a credit card. You've attracted that credit card to yourself. And it says, we have a $3,000 limit for you. Guess what? You've created to be able to pay on your hospital bill as you pay the card bit by bit. So it's not to say that credit cards are good or bad, but it's to say that they are there to bring you prosperity. But in that, they're giving you the prosperity, you're going to be circulating back to them in the form of your cash flow. So moving in wisdom is, if I don't have monies to set aside for a fur coat, then don't buy it. Wait until you've accumulated the funds for that. You see, you don't just have to jump. You know, move in wisdom, because things will reverberate. That's how life is. It reverberates. You don't want you to get your credit card all the way up to the max, and then what do you have? The reverberation is you might have to go into debt consolidation, or you might have to go into bankruptcy. That's a reverberation of moving without wisdom. Move in wisdom. That is so important. Move in wisdom. And think, I'm augmenting my monies. See your monies, money substance, see that growing. But even more so, see yourself in good health. Because health is a very, very, very important part of opulent prosperity. You want to be in as good a health as you possibly can, you see.
Yeah, we don't really want to be circulating that prosperity for medical bills.
Well, only if it's bringing you help. If that circulation is affording you to become more and more healthy because of treatments you need, because of medical things that you need, then yes, you are dealing with opulent prosperity. But our thing is, make your prosperity grow. Just don't sit down and let it sit there. Do something with it. And it can be done in many ways. Some people would think probably automatically I'm talking about investments. Sure, you can make investments, but there are other ways of it growing as well, you see. So be existing in your mind in opulent prosperity. See it in your mind so that you can create it in the realities in which you exist.
You elaborate, Realm, on how to see it in your mind. How does one actually do that?
Let's say you want a car. You know how much money you're going to spend on it because you're moving in wisdom. You're not going to request a Rolls Royce if you can only afford a Chevrolet. you see. But how do you do that? You can sit down, you can meditate, you can focus on it, you can see the car that you want in your mind over and over again. Maybe you only meditate every day for 10 minutes. And the 10 minutes that you're meditating on the type of car. You've got the color, you've got the interior. You can even meditate and see yourself driving that car. So the meditation will assist you in experiencing the car in a different reality, but you will be experiencing it. You see, the other way that some people use, they call them vision boards. Go to the art store, get yourself a board, or go to the grocery store, grocery market, and go to the art supply section and buy yourself a poster. And then you want a car, so you cut out you go through magazines, you go through newspapers, you go on the internet and print out stuff dealing with cars or the specific car that you want. You find all the pictures that you can find as much as possible about the particular car you want, put it on a board. So you're having a vision of it. The thing is to see it in some way or another. The other thing is to go to the place where they sell that particular car and get in it, drive it, feel the energy. You don't have to say, I'm going to buy it today, but you go to experience it. You want to know what is it like to drive it. That will help you more in your creative visualization. So those are the things that can help. You can even write sentences by saying, I am experiencing having a red Chevrolet that's 1989 or 2024, whatever you want. You can write it. See it in the writing. See what you've created in the writing. Because see, each thing is a creation of reality that's assisting you in creating the thing that you want. So you have vision boards, you have meditation, you have writing techniques. You can go and purchase those magazines that they have that deal with cars, and you can look through it and find your car, read about your car, plug it into your Google or whatever your search engine is, and bring up all kinds of things about your particular car that you want. It's to surround yourself with the car in some way or another, so that you take it out of the head and you start which is one reality. Once you take it out of the head, then you can start bringing it into this reality. You see, driving it, that's another reality. Writing it down, looking at it on your television, looking at it on your YouTube or whatever. You see, immersion. We can use that word.
I like that word.
Immerse yourself in that which you want. You want a new house? Start looking. Even if you don't want to go up, but there's a neighborhood you want to live in, take your car, if you have a car, or a friend will drive you, ride around the neighborhood. See what the houses are like. You see, it's imprint, it's immersion, immersing yourself in it. Yes. Does that answer your question, Kathleen?
Yes, it does.
Oh, we're so glad.
But I'm just thinking, but I'm always thinking. Sometimes when I'm thinking, I'm not sure if what I'm thinking I should even be thinking. But just being a woman, women are always thinking. And we're thinking about so many things at the same time. And I don't even know. I'm just, yes, to answer your question, yes, it is helping.
Kathleen,
Yes.
it's not only women that think. Children are thinking. Men are thinking. Dogs are thinking. Everything is thinking. It's what do you want to think is the issue.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting to. What do I want to think?
Yes. So you have to decide that. What is the particular thing you want to immerse yourself in that?
And immerse yourself in the prosperity. So if I'm thinking, or someone else is out there thinking, I want to find, let's say, surround myself with more high vibrational experiences or events, because that increases my prosperity, or increasing the types of friends, expanding out from those friends, moving away from low vibrational people, even family members.
But see, Kathleen, remember it's create and then attract. Everybody, I'm so glad that I have an opportunity to say this, because everyone believes in the law of attraction. But what you don't realize is that before you can attract anything, you must create it. And where does the creation come from? It's coming from your inner being. Where do you want your inner being to be? It's right back to where we keep saying every week. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself. When you're there, then it's going to reverberate. You're going to bring people that support you in appreciating yourself, that support you in loving yourself. People that aren't servicing you in that way. Once you love yourself, you're going to see that they just move away. Mm-hmm. It can even be children that are not supporting you and loving yourself. You know, even though you gave birth to the child, doesn't mean that the child is going to be there to support you and to love you. The thing is, don't look outside yourself.
Look in.
Prosperity is inside yourself. How do you see you? Don't worry about how other people see you, because other people are not creating your reality. So don't worry about them. You know, deal with you. Go inside of you. The prosperity is inside you. And everybody has it. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care where you live. I don't care what your cultural framework is. Everybody has prosperity, and it's inside. It's just that maybe prosperity for a person living in the Amazon rainforest is going to be different from a person living in Alaska. They might have two different things or two different ways of thinking of prosperity, you see.
Well, Realm, on that note, we're going to ask Kathleen to let us know what we can look forward to next week's podcast. I caught you off guard, didn't I?
No, I have to find my specs. And our final week for July with working on your inner self. Do you want to change your life? Then take a look inside of you, and you can do it this way too.
I'm going to have night terrors now, Kathy. Anyway, listeners, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the podcast as much as we did. Thank you, Transformation Network, for allowing us to have this experience. Thank you, Greta, Kathleen, and of course, thank you to the Realm of Beings listeners. If you haven't seen other podcasts, Feel free to pull them up on your favorite platform, like any streaming platform, YouTube, for instance. You can catch up on all the episodes. In the meantime, we'll see you next week until we create each other again.
Once again, thanks for joining us at Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As you have explored today's creation of reality experience with the realm and me, Greta, each of you is being supported by us in further developing the understanding that you are not just an individual existing in linear time and space, but a multi-dimensional force of infinite possibilities who is connected to all. So begin to create the realities you want. Join us every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Shifting Impressions at TransformationTalkRadio.com. So long until we create each other again next Friday.